Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is very exciting because look what I ordered. I was gonna wait until I moved to film this video, but honestly I just couldn't wait. My willpower is not that strong, so we're just gonna go ahead and film it. I ordered some makeup from Chanel, which is something that I never ever do. And I just filmed like a really cute unboxing for Instagram because the way this is presented is just so beautiful. I had to document it. But we're going to be trying some Chanel makeup. I have one of the new Les Beiges Healthy Glow bronzing palettes. I have the famous Sublimage Concealer and a few other things as well. So we're going to be trying them. These are my very first impressions and I cannot wait. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I hope you'll subscribe, stick around, and let's get started. All right, let's open this back up. I did already unbox it for a little short video, so I've already opened it, but I put everything back in the box just because. But let's start with, well, let me just show you what I got first. So the first thing is, this is kind of what inspired this whole order for me. Was I've been eyeing this new Les Beiges Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed Powder. I got the shade Medium Coral and I hope it's gonna be okay. I was gonna get Light Coral, but I waited too long and Light Coral sold out. So hopefully Medium Coral is okay. I know, Anna, if you're watching, you influenced me to buy this because you said that you're just a little bit darker than me and the medium coral works for you. So I bought this because of you and I really wanted it anyways. So this is what medium coral looks like. It's so pretty. We'll swatch it when we apply it, but I just want to show you what I actually got first. Then I got this product, which I've heard nothing but good things about, the Sublimage Concealer. I know Martina loves this. I know many of you have said that this is like the holy grail of concealers. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to try that. I also got the Les Beiges Healthy Glow foundation. I was going to get the Water Fresh tint and I do still plan to get that, but that I can get from Ulta, so I think I'm going to use my points probably and get that. But while I was on the website, I really wanted to try a foundation, so I got that one. And then I got two of the new eyeshadows. So I got the Quartz Fume and Brun Talpa. Of course, I got two neutral ones because you know me. And then they gave me two samples in here. One of them is the Le Volume de Chanel mascara. I have tried this years ago. This is one of few things that I actually have tried from Chanel. I liked it. I haven't used it in a long time. So we'll use that sample today. And then the last thing is this little #1 Chanel cream. It's like a little cream sample. I don't know. And it came in this cute little Chanel bag. So those are the things that I got. So I bought 5 items and this was quite a pricey order, but I knew I wanted to do a video on Chanel. I've been saying for a while I was gonna do it, so I went ahead and did it. I knew I was gonna, or I wanted one of the healthy bronzing powders, the new ones, and I know those are probably gonna sell out. I assume they're limited edition, so I just went ahead and did it. But let's start with the foundation. So this is the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Foundation. I am not super familiar with Chanel's shade range. I haven't tried much from Chanel in general. I've tried the mascara, the Le Volume de Chanel mascara. I've tried the bronzer, the famous cream bronzer. I have that. And then I have a Chanel lip liner, and that's it. So I've not tried much of anything from Chanel before. This is what it looks like. It's a really pretty glass bottle and I went with the shade B20. I don't really know, to be honest. I just kind of went with it. I think they described this as light medium with neutral undertones, so hopefully it's okay if it's a little bit light right now. We have the bronzer in that palette, so let's go ahead and try this out. I'm gonna get one pump on my hand, so it's pretty runny. And online it says this is a light medium coverage and basically a radiant glowier foundation. So I haven't seen many people use this. Honestly, I've kind of purposely stayed away from Chanel for a long time, not because I'm not interested, but because I'm kind of scared that once I get into it, I'm gonna really be into it, and then I'm gonna want to try everything, and that's gonna be difficult. So, but it's time. It's time. So I'm blending this with the F84 from Sigma. I still have a good bit left on the back of my hand. This was just one pump. So if you have a favorite Chanel foundation, let me know what it is. I would suspect a lot of people would say the Water Fresh tint. I know that's one of the things they're really known for, so I do plan to get that next. It's very, very fragranced, which I expected. I'm getting some more off the back of my hand and just stippling this on. I did not use any priming type products or anything either before starting this video. I did my SPF, but that was like 30 minutes ago. Okay, so that is one full pump applied to my face. I would agree with the light medium coverage, and it definitely does have some glow to it. Like you can see, it's definitely not like overly glowy looking though. Wondering if my skincare was more freshly applied to my face, if it would look a little bit more glowy, because my skin had definitely really like absorbed all of my skincare when I started filming. But I mean, it looks very pretty. It's not glowy in the sense that it looks metallic or anything like that, but it definitely does have like a radiance to it, but in a healthy way. It doesn't claim that this is a buildable foundation, but let's just see what happens if we add a little bit more. It's a very, very thin, watery texture. Very fragranced though, so keep that in mind if that bothers you. It's definitely very, very fragranced. And I'm purposely not putting anything under my eyes. I don't ever put foundation under my eyes, and we're gonna go in with the Sublimage Concealer, so I definitely want to keep that bare so we can see what that does on its own, because that stuff is pricey. Okay, definitely I would say slightly buildable. I do think that added a little bit more coverage there. Looks pretty. Looks pretty. All right, moving into probably what I'm most excited about and a little bit nervous at the same time, which is the Sublimage Radiance Generating Concealing Eye Care from Chanel. I have wanted to try this for so long. I haven't, solely because of the price. I mean, I don't even want to say out loud how much I spent on this concealer. I know you probably know if you're watching this video. It is very expensive. This is $105. And yes, you heard that correctly, $105. I've never spent that much on a concealer, ever. But today is the day, and I've been dying to try it. So, looks like this. I got the shade number 20. And I mean, it's very, very nice, heavy packaging, as it should be. And, oh gosh. Okay, I don't want to lose any of this product. So it has this little protective layer here that has a lot of product on it. So that is shade 20. Let me get a little bit on the back of my hand here so you can see the swatch. All right, so there is shade 20, and I don't know, I'm hoping this is the right shade, but I just kind of had to guess. Okay, it feels very, very nice in the swatch. Wow. Feels like the most hydrating gel cream, but it's not thick feeling. Look at that. If you are familiar with my videos, I always use a color corrector under my eyes. That's a non-negotiable step for me. However, they claim that this, I believe, is supposed to be like a corrector and a concealer. So we're just gonna apply nothing underneath, just apply this, see what it does. Okay, I'm reading the claims on the Chanel website. The formula reduces the look of dark circles by 39% and smooths the appearance of fine lines without creasing, all while caring for the delicate under eye area. Available in 10 shades, offers a luminous, buildable coverage. It does also come with this cute little brush, which I guess we will use it since this is what it comes with. I'm nervous, honestly. I'm very, very nervous. I will say a little bit of this spreads a lot, so this is definitely not the kind of product you're gonna go through quickly. So if that helps justify the price, I mean, it's still very expensive. I'm gonna get some on the back of my hand. Already I would agree with what I've heard over and over about this, which is it's a great product. The packaging is terrible because it makes a mess. Like, I've already made a mess with it, but there it is on the back of my hand. I'm gonna get some, I guess, directly on the brush first. I was looking at the instructions online and it says to like warm it up on the back of your hand first. Whereas normally with concealer, I would just dot it on and then blend it out, but let's just see what this is doing. I didn't have much product at all. Okay, I'm gonna get what's left over here. Yeah, the application on this, definitely not the easiest thing in the world. I mean, this little brush is not bad. I mean, for the price, that's the least they could do, is give you a little brush to use with it. So what do we think? That eye has the concealer. That eye has nothing. I mean, first impression, it looks very, very radiant. Very, very radiant. It does feel, and I think this is kind of the idea behind it, it feels like an eye cream as you're applying it. The texture feels like a very luxe, thick, but not in a bad way, hydrating type of formula. It feels like a tinted eye cream. And I mean, it looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. I will say the color I think is pretty good for me. It does have a bit of a peachier undertone, which if you have darkness under the eyes is always a good thing. So, I mean, it looks very nice. Very, very nice. I don't know about applying it from the back of my hand and then using the brush, although I will say this brush is not terrible. I mean, I don't know that I would always use it, but you do get it, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, it looks nice. Very, very, very hydrated, very luminous. I want to see how it looks in a few minutes after applying it. See if any of that luminosity goes away, because it's very dewy right now. But I mean, it looks good, I'm not gonna lie. Coverage is pretty good. It's not a full coverage, but it's pretty good coverage for not having a color corrector underneath. So let's move into the other side. Now, see, mine is already like making a mess around the edge here, which pains me because I feel like, aren't you supposed to leave that little clear thing on there? There's so much product on there, like I'm not throwing that away, but it kind of makes a mess. So I'm gonna do it differently over here. What I will say is this, yes, it is very expensive, but this stuff spreads and a little bit goes a long way. Like, that was not very much product on my finger and you can see how much I got there. That's one thing. It definitely would last you a while. All right, this time I'm gonna use a brush that I love and use a lot. This is the N14 from BK Beauty. Okay, yeah, so see, I used way too much on this side, so maybe that's why they tell you to get it off the back of your hand and kind of warm it up. Because yeah, that was way too much. Okay. I feel like I didn't have that much on my finger, but I guess I did. Okay. This is first impression, so that's what you're getting. I've never used these products before, so yeah, I'm learning along with you. Just kind of blended in what was on my face with my brush, and now I'm gonna go in with a sponge under my eyes, which is not something I typically do, but since I applied too much product, I really want to make sure I blend it in and get rid of any excess. So if you buy this concealer, remember less is more. You don't need a lot of it. Okay, so there it is, applied to both eyes. First impression, the side actually, the first side, the one that I got off the back of my hand and applied it with a little brush, that side looks better to me, and I think it's because I used the appropriate amount of product over there. I used way too much on this side, so I had to kind of work with my sponge to really blend it out. So keep that in mind. Apply less than you think you need, but I mean, it does look beautiful. This first side, I mean, it still looks very dewy and luminous, so I think most likely you're going to need to use a little bit of powder with this unless you have very, very dry under eyes. And if you do, I think just right off the bat, I think you would probably love this product. But it does look good. The shade looks good. It goes well with that foundation shade. I mean, the coverage is pretty good for no color corrector. I can see where this, at least in this shade for my skin tone, would act as both for me. But I mean, it looks nice. It looks nice. Now, is it worth $105? I don't know. I don't know. We gotta see. I gotta wear it. I gotta let you know on that. But it does look pretty. It does look pretty. All right, next we're gonna use this, which is, like I said, kind of what inspired this whole order. The new Les Beiges Healthy Glow Sun Kiss Powder. But before we do that, I am gonna lightly set my face just because I don't want these powders to apply patchy or anything, and I'm not familiar with this concealer or this foundation, so I don't really know how they work with powders. So I am gonna set my face first. I did not get the Chanel powder. I thought about it. I did not get it though, but I'm just gonna go ahead and set my face with this powder that I have out, which is the Sigma one. So I'm just gonna use my F12 brush and just lightly set my face with this because I don't want any of the powders to apply weird because I didn't set before. I actually have really been enjoying this powder also from Sigma. Set my face, so let's go into this beautiful powder, which first of all, this, I've never owned a Chanel like compact like this before, so this beigey color is just really speaking to me. So this is the shade Medium Coral. You've probably seen videos on these. I'm a little bit late, but that's okay. So I'm gonna swatch these first. So there they are on finger swatches. So I really wanted the light coral one, like I said, but that one sold out. I'm assuming they're not restocking these. So I've seen a lot of reviews on them and people saying they're not that different from each other, light and medium coral. Obviously this one's a little bit deeper. It's a little bit more vibrant, but overall they're not like overly different from each other. The swatches feel very nice, very silky feeling. All right, now the question is, what brush do I use? And most of my brushes are packed away at the moment, so I'm just gonna have to use what I have here. I think I'm gonna use this F2 brush from Mario. We're gonna use this larger end right here. So I'm just gonna get the bronzer. You can obviously mix them. I know a lot of people have been doing that, but I kind of want to do them separately. This is actually a good size brush for this. So I'm kind of tapping it off on the palm of my hand because I don't know how pigmented these are. Oh, okay, that's pretty. That's actually very pretty. Not as scary looking as I thought it was gonna be. All right, I'm gonna go in on this side and just tap it on because I don't want anything to move. So I'm going in very light with these just because since I've never used it before, I don't want to go in way too heavy. So if it looks lighter on my skin tone, it's because I'm purposely not applying a lot because I don't want to go overboard. Since I'm not familiar, I've never used a Chanel powder product ever. I'm gonna take some down my neck. So I'm going in and adding a little bit more because it's definitely not going on super pigmented like I was afraid it was going to, which, just to be clear, that's not a bad thing for me. I love a more sheer formula. Whether it's blush or bronzer, I would much rather the formula be like on the lighter side than too pigmented. So there's the bronzer. That looks pretty nice. Honestly, it looks much warmer in the swatch here, but it doesn't look that warm on me. I like it though. It's very, very natural looking, which that is very much my thing. If you know me, you know I'm a natural makeup kind of girl. Very excited about that. Okay, I'm not as nervous now as I was before. I'm gonna flip the brush and just use this smaller end. And now we're gonna go into this, which I'm actually glad that I got a coral blush shade. I don't usually go for coral blushes. I don't know why though, because when I use them, I always end up liking them. I always go for pink, but I don't know why. Ooh, okay, that's pretty. That's pretty. Ooh, yeah, that is nice. I like that this coral is not like super orangey. Sometimes I find with coral leaning blushes, they can lean a little bit orange, and I like more of like a true coral that has a little bit of pink in it. You know what I mean? Okay, that is very nice. By the way, I don't think I said it earlier, but when I set my face with that Sigma powder, I did kind of take the excess just barely underneath my eyes. I didn't heavily set there, but I did get a little bit of that powder there. Just FYI, because I don't think I said that earlier. That is nice. I really like that. Really, really like it. Okay, let's move into the highlight. I guess I'm just gonna use the same small end. We had a lot of glow before this, so it's gonna be kind of hard to see the highlight very well, but looks like definitely more of a subtle highlight, which again, I'm here for. I love a more subtle finish on something like that. I was a little nervous about this, but I'm pleasantly surprised right now. Okay, I'm looking up close here, guys, and I'm not gonna lie, like, my skin looks really pretty. I was really I wasn't hoping to not like it because I spent a lot of money on this stuff, and obviously I want to like them, I want to use them, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my skin looks really, really, really pretty right now. So far so good with these products. Thank you to Anna for telling me that I would be good with the medium coral shade. I'm actually glad I went with this color now because this is fine on my skin tone. So yeah, happy with this so far. I'm gonna go ahead, fill in my eyebrows. I'll do that off camera. I'll be back and we will move on to the eyeshadows. All right, did my brows. Let's move into these shadows. So as I said, I got 2 of them. I know there are tons of fun colors. Of course, you know me, and I went with the neutral ones. Because if you're gonna spend $40 on a single eyeshadow, you want it to be a shadow you know you're gonna use, you know? So this one is the shade Quartz Fume. Now I know some of the shades I believe were shades before Chanel reformulated them, and then some are new shades. I want to say maybe this is a previous shade, but I could definitely be wrong. So it looks like this. This one's a really warm, kind of like a khaki golden color, which is right up my alley. So that is it right there. Oh yeah, so this is so my kind of color. It's like gold, a little bit green. Oh yeah, that is stunning, stunning. And they do come with these two little applicators, like a typical sponge tip, and then this little brush, a little angled brush, and then like a little shader brush. So maybe we will use those just to see how they work. And then the other one is Brun Talpa, number 236. These little compacts are so cute. Okay, so this is Brun Talpa. It's a little bit more of a taupey kind of color, a little bit cooler, or it is cooler toned than Quartz Fume. Let's swatch this one. I have seen some people asking about how this compares to Beige Summer from Dior, which I do have, so I'll swatch that also. So this is Brun Talpa right there, and that is Quartz Fume, and I'll insert closer up swatches too, so you can see they're very shiny, which I love. Both gorgeous neutral shades that I know that I will use. So I didn't even say, but I did take what was left of the Sublimage Concealer on this little brush, and I just took that over my eyelids. I don't know if that was a good idea or not, because I've never done that before, but that's what I did. Let's use the first shade, which is Quartz Fume, number 238. And maybe should we use this little brush? This is a tiny, tiny little brush. Maybe we'll try it. These are so tiny, they're kind of hard to hold, but let's just... Oh, okay. So that was way more pigmented. Applying it this way. Ooh, that color is beautiful though. Wow. That is nice. Okay, I was not expecting that much pigment, so that's good to know. If you really lightly apply it with your finger, you'll get a much more like muted shade. If you do it with their little applicator, you'll get a lot more pigment. So on the other side, I'm gonna use my finger. Yeah, see the difference? Much more pigment over here. I'm gonna kind of build this one up so my eyes aren't super uneven. That is a very, very pretty color. That's like a gorgeous one and done, slightly smoky eye look. Especially if you have like hazel eyes. My eyes are more, sometimes they look more hazel, sometimes they look more green. But wow. I don't really know how I should go about applying the other one. I kind of want to just tap it on top of this, but I also kind of want to remove this, but I also don't because I really like this color. And I don't have any makeup wipes up here. Or actually, you know what I do have? Okay. I have some of this Clinique Take Off the Day eye makeup remover, so all I have sitting here is this little towel thing, so I'm just gonna have to use this because I know some of you are gonna want to see the other one by itself. I removed it. That was not easy, but I did remove it, and I just applied a little bit of this eye base from Sigma just to even out my eyelids again because they were kind of irritated from me rubbing on them. So I'm going to use this little brush on one side, and then we'll do finger on the other side so we can see. And after I do this, I will swatch Beige meets next to this one. Okay, so there is Brun Talpa. Very, very pretty. So that one is a little bit lighter in terms of the depth than the other one. Still beautiful though. Love that color. It's so nice. Okay, so we'll do finger on the other side. Yeah, so that color doesn't apply as differently with finger and the little applicator, but that is also an absolutely beautiful color. Okay, I will swatch that one now next to Beige Meets from Dior, because they definitely do remind me of each other. I do think they're a little bit different though, but let me go ahead and swatch them next to each other. So they're a little bit different actually. So this one is Beige Meets from Dior, and this one is Brun Talpa. So Beige Meets is actually a little bit warmer. It's a little bit more of like a brownish taupe, whereas Brun Talpa is a little bit more silvery, a little bit more of a silvery taupe, I would say. So they are similar, like the finishes are definitely similar, but they're not identical, which is good to know, because if you're gonna get both, like I now have both, at least they're not exactly the same. The formula in terms of like the finish, very, very similar though. Just to kind of finish off the eyes, I'm gonna take a little bit of the bronzer in here. And I'm gonna put that in my crease. That bronzer is surprisingly very flattering. I was a little bit worried it was gonna be too dark, but it's not. It's a really pretty, it definitely has some warmth in it, but it doesn't look orangey on me, which I love. Okay, before we move on and use the little mascara sample, I'm actually going to take a little bit of the Quartz Fume color, and I'm going to put this on the bottom lash line. I don't think I'm going to do any liner on the top lash line, but I am going to take this Mario liner in the Perfect Brown and just line my eyes with this. Okay, I did do just like a tiny bit of liner on the top lash line. I used that same one from Makeup by Mario, but now I'm just curling my lashes, and I figured since we got a sample of this mascara, we would use it. So this is the Le Volume de Chanel mascara. So it comes in this cute little tiny tube, and I have used this before. Like I said, I remember liking it, but it was a long time ago. In fact, I don't even know if I had a YouTube channel when I tried it. But I know this is like a holy grail for a lot of people. I wonder if it comes in brown. I'm not sure if it does. This is black. Oh yeah, wow, that's given a lot of length. A lot of length. Oh wow, that looks way better than I remember it looking. And I'm not even using a lash serum right now, and it looks really, really good. Okay, maybe I've totally forgotten how good this is, but I don't remember it being like that lengthening. And my lashes, I mean, they're not short, but they're not like as long as they've been before right now, but I don't know. All right, yeah, that mascara looks fabulous. I totally forgot apparently how good that was, but anyways, let's move into lips. I didn't buy a new lip product. I do have a Chanel lip liner that I'm going to use. And speaking of that, now I guess is the time for me to ask your opinion. If you have any Chanel lip products that you really like, can you let me know? Which formula you like, if you have a certain shade that you like, can you let me know? Because I really want to order a lip product. But there's so many shades. I don't know which one. So let me know. If you have something that you really like and you think I would like it, let me know. This is the shade 158 Rose Natural. So there's that. I wish I had like a Chanel lip gloss or something, but I don't. So I think I'm gonna use a little bit of this. This is Thanks It's MAC. Oh yeah. I've recently rediscovered how good this lipstick is. I want a little bit of gloss, I think, because that's just who I am. So I'm gonna take a little of this Fenty gloss in Sweet Mouth. All right, that is everything. This is probably gonna be a long video because this is my first time trying these products and I don't know how they work, and I wanted to truly give you my first impression of them. Let's go through them quickly and I'll kind of give you my initial thoughts. Obviously, I'm going to keep wearing these things and I'll let you know, but overall, I want to give you my thoughts as of now. Number one, the foundation. This is beautiful. I mean, it's a glowy, lighter coverage foundation. I will say I like the level of glow in this. I don't think it's too glowy. It's not metallic looking, and it didn't look, you know how sometimes glowy foundations, they can often emphasize things that maybe you don't want to emphasize, like texture, pores. I don't have a lot of texture, but I do have noticeable pores like right in this area, and this didn't appear to be magnifying anything. And obviously I've not worn it yet. I don't know how it wears. It is very fragranced. If that bothers you, keep that in mind. I will say it is a beautiful bottle. Not that that is the most important thing. It's not, but this is the shade B20, and I think this is a fine shade for me actually, especially when I add bronzer and blush and everything else. But I like this. Am I like blown away by it? It's the greatest thing ever? No. Am I mad about it? No. All right, the Sublimage Concealer. Okay, a lot of thoughts on this. Number one, packaging is terrible. Most obvious comment probably, but yeah, the packaging is terrible. I wish they would do something else with this. You do get a lot of product in here. You don't need a lot. It spreads a lot. You saw on this eye, I applied way too much. It didn't feel like a lot of product, but it spreads. So this is gonna last a very, 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 very long time. Do I think it looks good under my eyes? Yeah, I think it looks really good. It looks beautiful, beautiful. I will say, I don't know, they do say it's buildable. I don't know how buildable this would be, just because I think it kind of would shine on its own with just one layer. I think because of the texture and the finish, that really luminous finish, if you go in with a lot of this, and you really build it up, I don't know that you're gonna get that beautiful skin-like finish. I can see it getting a little bit cakey if you did that. So I think the key is to do one very thin layer, and maybe if you want a little more, be very, very careful and add a little bit more product. But I don't know how buildable of a formula I would say this is, but does it look pretty? Yeah, it does. It looks beautiful. The color is good for me. This is shade 20. I will also say, I mean, it still looks pretty luminous under my eyes. I did add just like a tiny bit of powder there when I set my face with the Sigma powder. I didn't heavily use a specific brush and set that area, but I do think unless you have severely dry skin, you are probably going to want to set this, because it is a very hydrating formula. So it will move around if you don't set it, in my opinion. So next time I would add a little bit of powder and I would apply less product. I applied less on the first side that we used. I kind of warmed it up on my hand, and I do think that applied the best. Now, is it worth $105? I can't tell you that it is at this point. Is it beautiful? Yes. Do I regret buying it? No. But $105 is a lot. So I've got to keep testing this to let you know what I think. But am I mad that I bought it? Absolutely not. I think I will continue to use it and love it. But stay tuned for updated thoughts. Oh, one other thing, the little brush they sent, this little brush, it's actually not bad. Not bad. So kind of nice that you get this. Honestly, what I'm kind of the most excited about is this, and I did not think that was going to be the case. The Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed Powder in medium coral. I was really worried about this, that this was going to be too intense for my skin tone, but I really like this. I really like this. These powders, on me at least, they don't apply super pigmented right off the bat. You can build them up, but I've seen a few people saying they're really pigmented. I don't find this to be super pigmented personally, but I love this. Anna, thank you for advising me that you thought that this shade would work well for me. I'm really happy with this. I can definitely see myself continuing to use this a lot. I love the coral in here. The highlight is probably the one I'm the least, I'm the most underwhelmed by the highlight. It's just a very basic light gold highlight, but it's pretty, don't get me wrong, but I'm more excited about the bronzer and the blush in here. So this is pricey. Again, do I think you need to spend $95 on a Chanel compact? Absolutely not. But am I disappointed in this? Absolutely not. I will keep wearing it, and I'm excited about it. This makes me happy just to look at. I don't have a lot of Chanel things, so this is really exciting for me. And then the shadows. Okay, the shadows are absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy with both shades, Quartz Fume and Brun Talpa. This is Brun Talpa with a little bit of the bronzer from the palette in the crease, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. It is different from Beige Mitza. If you were wondering, it's definitely different, a little bit cooler in tone, but it's beautiful. I love both shades. I'm really happy with them. Again, these are very expensive. They're $40. $40? Do you need to spend $40 on a single eyeshadow? Absolutely not. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I loved both. And I know these are shades that I will use and want to pull out and wear. And the mascara was just a sample, but honestly, the mascara looks flawless as well. So those are my initial thoughts. Like I said, I will keep wearing them and I'll let you know in future videos what I think. But I hope you enjoyed this very long, kind of all over the place Chanel first impression. This was probably the most fun I've had filming in a long time though. This was just so fun, so much fun. So I hope you enjoyed it. I will have all the products linked below for you and in the YouTube shopping link if I can. If you use my links, I really appreciate it. They are affiliate links that support me and support my channel. So thank you so much. If you are new, I hope you'll subscribe, stick around. We do all kinds of beauty content here. We would love to have you. If you're not already, make sure to follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.